Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays. And today we're continuing the Learn series. I'm back from vacation, so I don't have those lovely mornings to do these series, but we're going to try this one with Dreamescape from Bad Cat Games. This game is still being delivered. I know another content creator said that he's still waiting for his copy to come in, and it's still in the process of being delivered. But I also heard he had said, "Hey, I'm looking for videos to, teach me how to play," and I was too, but it wasn't happening. So I said, "I'm gonna do one." Where my Learn to Play series for people who've never watched any of it before is I actually break open the rule book and we learn to play the game together. So for people who join live, because this is a live stream, can join in chat, ask questions, or if the developer happens to the creator happens to pop in and can answer questions that we have, that's there as well. It's just kind of for you to see my process of learning a rule book, which I have difficulty with rule books. No one seems to believe that all the time, or they're saying, "Oh, it couldn't be that bad." And so we'll see me go through the process. And I find that it's also helpful for me to go through that process live on stream, because now I can try to focus more instead of, oh, I'm reading and then I'll reread that 5 more times. It's actually helped me go through a lot of games. Plus, I've been going through my collection and cleaning out, playing games that have just been kind of sitting on my shelf of opportunity to run through and say, okay, is this going to stay or is this going to go? As I'm currently doing a massive culling of my collection, which I have boxes stacked up over here of just games that didn't really make it, and we're going to move through it. Hey, Cassie, how's it going? I'm halfway here. No worries, no worries. Glad to have you, glad to have you. So, we're going to get into playing some Dreamscape. We're going to try the rulebook. You can see if the rulebook's good or not, or need works. Hey, Dragon Shadow, Happy New Year to you as well. So, and if it is something that you find interesting and want to get into, or even if I play it and I'm like, oh, I really like this game, I'm going to keep it, it lets me know that I get to keep it. So, before I begin, I just want to say thanks to my patrons, subscribers, and if you're neither coming in, thank you and welcome as well. I just wanted to do that intro for people who've never been here before. This is a chill, relaxed play. I'm not going to stress myself out about it. We're just going to have some fun and see if this game is for us or not. Yeah? Let's go ahead and get down to the table. Alright. Happy New Year, Family Meeple. Hello, hello. So we're going to get into this. This basically is the all-in Kickstarter that they did, and it finally got to deliver. There was supposed to be, with the all-in, that you were supposed to get sleeves for the game, but they refunded all the money for the sleeves and said, nope, you're on your own. And then there's supposed to be an insert for people who went with the all-in. Now, I've heard rumors that the insert is going to ship later, but that's weird, right? That's weird. Like, why not all at well, maybe it wasn't done. Maybe it wasn't done. I don't want to speculate. I just know that from what I understand, from what I've heard, that the all-in insert is supposed to ship later. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen, and that's up to Bad Cat Games to see if they're going to honor that or they won't, and we'll see. Hey Adam, how's it going? Let's learn another one. Exactly. So these are all the fun stuff that came with it. This is the core game. So if you got the core game, you just got this box. There was a playmat. I do have the playmat over there, but the playmat, I was like, let's just try it without the playmat, and if we like the game, I'll bring the playmat out and play through it as well. So we're just going to try it without the playmat, but I do have it. So if you backed everything like I did, because, we're crazy, there are 4 box expansions that come with it. So there's Uthnaragi, Black Galleys, Lang, and Sarkamond, which comes with these. These are extra locations that you can go through. There is also a early bird pack that you got if you backed it early bird or played for it later, which is a brief moment in Carcosa scenario pack. So they have prelude packs with 28 cards and all that build out. So that's there if you backed it early enough, or if you bought it as, before that closed. A bunch of stretch goals that unlock. So there's some nightmare packs and scenario packs that are in part of this for the stretch goals from the campaign. I actually quite like the fact that it's quite A small box offering. This isn't that small, to be honest with you. I know it seems like, let me hold it up to my head. There. So it's smaller than like Aeon Trespass Odyssey, but it's not your typical small box games, but it's got some heft to it. We've also got because I went all in, the metal runes, the resin elder runes, and this is another nightmare pack for us to use. Then we've got the cultists and spies packs to add some more threats if we want, and then some wooden tokens that we'll be using that we probably will be making use of. So always like metal extras. So let's move that off to the side and pop this Dream Quest game over. So Dream Quest Volume 1, created by Jason McLean Jones, Rob Barrett, and James Soper. Hopefully, James, I said your last name properly and you won't hate me. And of course, you see it has that lovely, lovely thing to it. Alright, so you get a rule book and you get these dials. Well, we're going to go through, remember, we're going through this and we're going to start on the page and we'll go through the components so I can explain what those things are. That's typically what I do in this playthrough. I also downloaded off their website the PDF for this, so if I get to a point where I'm like, I don't understand, I'll pull it up on there and we can read along together so you can see it instead of me being like, hey, can you see that? Can you read that? You know, instead of me holding up and doing all that. So, Dreamscape. I was trapped. My travels in Dream had taken a nightmarish turn and I could no longer wake up. This dream world was extraordinary, terrifying, and as realistic as the waking world. Writers of weird fiction called it the Dreamlands. Fantastical realms, beautiful and awe-inspiring. The lands were changing, turning sinister, becoming increasingly menacing for dream visitors like myself. Lost but lucid, I have been here before, as had other famous dreamers before me, and they know that other beings immeasurably more ancient and powerful slumbered in the deep forgotten places amongst the stars, and they dreamed also. So, dreaming. You play a dreamer in the 1920s, trapped in a nightmare between the gates of sleep. Your dreaming mind has been fractured into pieces, shards, and fragments scattered throughout the Dreamlands. Your aim is simple. Recover these fragments, escape the dream, and wake up. To do so, however, you must explore the realms thoroughly, shifting between these fragments, surviving dangerous encounters until you find a gate and its matching key that leads back to the waking world. The power of the great old ones are, of course, set against you, eating away at your sanity, sapping your will and abilities, and placing deadly obstacles in your way. The punishment for failure is high, to be trapped forever in a cage within your own mind. Dreamscape is written in the weird fiction style of the 1920s and 30s. Outdated terms and phrases are used that fit with this time period. That was an interesting time period for not everybody, so I'm curious to see what that goes with and how that lines out. Alright, let's talk about components. So we get 2 character boards because this is a 1 to 2 player game. That's it, 1 to 2 players. So you get 2 character boards, but we'll be playing solo. So we'll just take 1 character board, put the other one off to the side. There are 6 character cards, 2, 4, 6, that you get to choose from. We're going to be going through the playthrough, the quick start playthrough, but I was going to play with her anyway, but the ones that you do get could be Hinode Kaio, and we'll talk about what all these symbols mean. Sophie Makowska, Alan E. Dalby, Robert H. Ashcott, Onier, and I'm not even going to try because I will insult someone. Onier. And then who we're going to play with is Rosaline Gutierrez. That's who we're going to play. So these are the character sheets that you can choose from that are in the dream. So I'll just select mine, put it there. We have character markers that are here. So these are our character markers. So I will be sure to grab hers. We have Mythos corruption tokens. God only knows what that is. We have talent tiles. We have the event track board, which is this one long thing, this right here. That's the event track board. These are Elder Runes. And these teeth marks are 44 condition, hunted, and super hunter tokens that we'll be using. Alright, so, and then these other bits here are skill mastery tokens. These are Elder Sign tokens that are here. These are Cthulhu influence tokens that we'll be using. So we'll put those over there until they're needed. And then you gotta, as you can see, I haven't opened up much. I think I just sleeved some of this stuff, but not all of it. But we have the 9 realm decks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there should be another one somewhere around here. Or maybe they're all mixed together for 9. 12 portal panels that we'll find. We have 108 items, which is what I sleeved. That's all I was able to sleeve before I ran out of sleeves. So these are 108 item cards, which is here, and even their setup is a little different. That's why I have them that way. We have 2 shard cards that we'll talk about. We've got condition cards, which are here, and if you notice, they're numbered, so keep them in order. Don't shuffle them too much. And we'll get into what those conditions are and those shard cards are in a second. We have lore cards, which are these here that we can look at. Then we've got, these are experience cubes that we'll be using. And these are threat and challenge cards that we'll be going through as we build up the game. And then I'll just pull these out because these have numbered, there are character cards in here, and the portal cards as well as location cards. All of those make up these big tarot, overly tarot-sized ones. I wish I had a talent. I'm talentless. You and me both. Shattered Minds. The Dreamer's Shattered Minds will cause you to draw story encounters randomly at first, making the game feel non-linear. Much like a real dream, your task is to piece the narrative puzzle back together. That's pretty interesting. And then consecutive numbers. Cards are not consecutively numbered. Some card numbers are available only in expansions to this base game. Complete card lists will be available on the website if you need it. Gotcha. Alright, so what we do with this card is we take this, and there's a slit right here in the side if you can see it. And you just take this and slide it on in. And then you'll see it just kind of go in where all those symbols and everything else matches up right here. And that's how we get our character. And this says this is a level 1 character, and if you flip it over, there'll be a level 2 side. And we'll talk about that as we build it out. I have no idea how to play this game. This is just me guessing, right? In play, a component is in play when it is part of the playing area or tableau. Any abilities or effects it has are active. Cool. We also need to place our experience cube here to start on that purple space. So that's our experience cube. So it's 2 if you're playing 2-player. Since we're not, that'll go back to the box. Looks like there's some dice here too. So I'm gonna make sure I got everything. Yep. All right, got everything. Cool. Let's put this over here. Give us some space. Give us 15 inches of space. So basically, there's a character background story card and marker. So we got the marker. We'll have to find her background story card somewhere lost in this deck of stuff during setup. Oh, here we go. Ha! Easy enough. All right. We did our condition card, lore cards, our condition area. So this is the player tableau. So protected items. If you look up here at the top, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more for right now. So if you look up here, you'll see these locks that are right here. You see those lock symbols that are there? They said those are protected item slots. And we'll learn what those, and then at the bottom here, underneath, in play areas for, basically the underneath here becomes in play areas for placing talent tiles or reward cards. All right. Cool. Location, pivotal locations, all this other stuff. 2-player setup and rules are on page 20, but we're not doing that. We're doing game setup for 1 player. Dreamer dashboard. Choose and slot a Dreamer's character sheet with the one side up into a dashboard setting the 4 stat dials to the value shown on page 7. Also, claim the relevant character backstory card, character marker, and a 2 shard card, then place the experience cubes in the first position of the experience track. Take 3 Fortune Elder Runes, half an Elder Sign icon on each side to form your Elder Rune pool. Place the threat, condition, and lore decks. This is all one step. That's not good. I'll read it through and then we'll step back through it. Take the 3 Fortune Elder Runes, half an Elder Rune sign icon on each side to form your Elder Rune pool. Place the threat, condition, and lore decks to one side. Do not shuffle them. Place an event marker on the blue start position of the event track. So, all that's supposed to be this image here. So we'll try it out and see what happens. First, we choose our adventure. We slotted them in. We need to find. Then it says we need to set these dials equal to what's on page 7. All right. So let me go to page 7, and I'll show you that here. Skipping through a ton of stuff, but we'll go to page 7. So that's this track here. So when we're on the 1, these are the numbers that we have for Rosalind, right? So her, whatever this symbol is, which it hasn't told us yet, it just told us to set it, right? I see all the symbols 1, 2, 3, and 4, so the first 4 I see that's set up here. So we've got the first one, and they're not in any particular, and they're not set in the proper order from here. So that's this weird swirl. It's going to get set to 1. The weird moons will also get set to 1. The tentacle-looking things will set to 9. And the health-looking thing will also set to 9. So that's what it told us to do. We'll go back to setup. There's other things on here, 13 and 6. I don't know, because it's not really saying much. Also, claim the relevant character backstory card. I'm assuming that's the number of the card, so we'll make that guess. If... Okay, don't be a jerk, game. Just open the thing. There we go. Alright. So, let's see. Alright, we've got some reference cards here. Is it double-sided? It's double-sided. There she is. 20. So, does that say 20 on this bottom one? No, it doesn't. So, that's this card that'll be here that we'll check out in a second. I will grab icons, rewards, physical, runes, and a bunch of double-sided stuff. Ooh, this rulebook's rough! Alright. So we grab the character backstory, which is here, the character marker, which is here, and a 2-shard card that can be... and a 2-shard card. Oh, one of these. They're both the same, so this says 2 shards on it. So we're going to grab a card that says 2 shards on it. So I'll go here. This one's for 2 players, so I'll put this out of the way. Then place the experience cube in the first position of the experience track. Take the 3, 4... Okay, so we're gonna use these. We're gonna use these, and I'm gonna break out a sharp object. I'm running with scissors, people. Running with scissors. Okay. It says Elder Runes. Let's pull out the Elder Runes. Oh, and they give us a bag, too. The hell are these? Oh, these are not good. Can you tell? I'm just going to hold this here for you to tell me how many Elder Signs do you see on this? This is my vision. However, this will be your vision. You see 3 halves of 1. I will have to, my thing is I will have to dry brush this just so I can see the signs on them. That is not good. So we're not using that. This is the resin. They're Elder Runes in metal. Are the metal ones any better? This is how I make these decisions on whether to use plastic or not, or cardboard or not. So let's pull this out. Hey, look, another bag. Okay, these are much better. These are better. Now you can kind of see these things here. So we want... let's see. Take 3 Fortune Elder Runes, half... Oh, nope. Yeah, that's it. Take 3 Fortune Elder Runes, half an Elder Sign. So that one has half, that one has half, and that one has half. But there's something else I was supposed to take as well. The one with a bunch on it. Take 3 Fortune Elder Runes, half an Elder Sign on each side. That's all it's telling me to do. But isn't there something that says in the first position, take the 3 Elder Rune signs and put it on half. Okay, yeah, that's all it said to do. Grab those 3. Or is it... Take the 3 Fortune Elder Runes. Half an Elder Sign icon on each side, but the symbol they showed is this. So that's those 3. So what we're looking at, once again, so I can show you what I'm looking at, because I'm just running through a guess here, is we're right here. Where it says, take the 3 Fortune Elder Runes, half an Elder Sign on each side. Well, it's not on each side. There's half an Elder Sign on one side. So, but there is a rune with half an Elder Sign on each side, which is this one. So, I'm assuming we're going to go by the picture, because that's the only thing that makes sense. So, I'll say that they showed the picture. That's the picture we're going to use. To form the Elder Rune pool, place the threat, condition, and lore decks to one side. Do not shuffle them. Okay. So conditions are red. We won't shuffle them. So this is the condition ones. We'll place them to the side. Threat decks, which are this one. It said don't shuffle them. This looks like a threat deck. The metal one, metal is better, definitely. Okay, that's these. So we don't shuffle them and put them to the side. And then the lore decks, which are these golden ones, plus what's here. And it looks like the 3 is on the top. So let's do that. Is there anything else under here? There is. So, boy. I'll put these, and it said don't shuffle them. So, there you go. This looks like more loot, so I might have to unsleeve all this crap, which will suck. Okay, so that is the threat, condition, and lore decks to one side. Do not shuffle them. Place an event marker on the blue start position of the event track. Okay, so we'll grab the event track, which is this board, and we'll place a marker, which is this. Oh, that's why it's there. These are the player markers. So I'll place a marker on the blue space of the track, which goes right there. That's step 1. That's the thing I don't know. Do they mean on each side? I don't know. Because if I flip the other side, there's only one there. But I'm just going with the symbol that's there. Not. Otherwise, it'll become confusing. So They need an errata for that immediately. Starting gear. Separate the item cards into 2 decks. Yep, which is what I did here. This is why this is this way. And I'll probably there we go. And this. So there are unlocked cards and lock cards. And you know they're lock cards because they have this lock symbol right here at the bottom, where the unlocked cards don't have that. So it says separate item cards into 2 item decks, locked, showing the lock symbol in the back, and open. Place the locked deck within reach, period. From the open deck, find the starting gear cards, which is what I separated here. And these look like a mix. Yeah, these are locked and unlocked. Plus, the other thing that lets you know that they're locked and unlocked, locked numbers are black, and unlocked numbers have a white background. Yeah, I don't care. I can go through these. A lot of locked cards. Do. This is nuts. It's like a little game to play. Alright, so these will go here. And these will go here. Unlocked, right? Yeah, unlocked. Okay. Separate item cards into 2 item decks, locked and unlocked. From the open deck, find the starting gear cards numbers 1 to 14, which is what all these are. And take a number 1 strange heirloom, placing it above your dashboard, along with the special heirloom elder rune shown. So let's take a look at this. And I'm going to pop it out of its sleeve. So we take that. So this is strange heirloom, and it wants us to take this thing, which is this. So it wants us to take that. Alright. We will learn more about what this strange heirloom is as we continue to learn how to play the game. So the item decks are going over here between unlocked, locked, and my heirloom is supposed to go up here. And then these will be my supply, and this is on that card. Okay? What I've been doing... Is this the What I've Been Doing Wrong series? How not to play series. Both of them are good. Both of them are good, Dan. Both of them are good. Alright. Placing it above the dashboard along with the special heirloom rune shown. Randomly draw 3 cards from the starting gear set, placing them next to your dashboard or in the protected item slots if you wish. Then return the rest to the open deck. Do not shuffle either deck. So don't shuffle this, just randomly grab 3. Right? 3? Randomly draw another 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. From the starting gear deck, placing them next to your dashboard or in the protected item slots if you wish. Then return the rest to the open item deck. Do not shuffle either deck. Okay, boop. And we'll unsleeve these. You'll deserve my card sleeves. And let's see what we drew. We drew Feathered Hat, starting gear. My favorite hat singled me out as a stranger to the Dreamlands. Only sometimes what? Was this an advantage? We've got Trusty Slippers. I felt oddly comfortable to know that I had my trusty moccasins with me. And then finally we got Bag of Nuts. Don't you dare, Dan. Food. I never traveled far without something in my pocket worth nibbling. All right, so these will go here. Apply the shard bonus shown on the upper half of the shard cards. What the hell are you talking about? Do not shuffle. Apply the shard bonus shown on the upper half of the shard cards. You tell me nothing about what the hell that means. What is the shard bonus? No clue. No clue. So let's look further into the book to find out what another errata needed. I'm doing this so you don't have to. Dad, you're funny. So let's see. Page 6. Shard bonus. Shard bonus. Running, losing. I don't know what any of that means, so we'll keep reading and we'll get to page 6 where it'll tell us what it means and then we'll add it. Realm decks. Remove all lock cards to form a supply from the realm decks, which are these look like stories. There should be images at the back of some of these. Ain't a single damn one. Remove all lock cards to form a supply. Keep each deck of similar numbers, 200s, 400s, etc., separate for easy retrieval. Separate each realm deck, all remaining cards 300. Shuffle each deck and place the deck's portal cards on top. You should end up with 9 realm decks of white cards and 10 of locked. This is 2,000. So I'm assuming I'm not supposed to do that. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. These rolls suck. Alright, let's see. Oh, wait. Is it these? It's these. Thank God. Okay. Alright. I almost did something awful. So that's these. Okay, so these are location pivotal cards. So no, these are not what I need. It is what you're asking for. Those are location pivotal cards. Realm decks of open stories with portal cards on top. Okay. I mean, usually some other people might just be like, you know what? I'm done with this game. Alright, so let's see. It says keep separate. Nope, that's not where I am. Where am I? Remove all locked story cards, which have the black books on them, to form a supply. Keep each deck of similar numbers, 200s, 400s, etc., separate for easy retrieval. Search each realm deck, i.e. all remaining cards 300s. All remaining cards 300s. But this is... sure. 400, and then there's this thing, which is 500. Okay. 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 But does it tell you what numbers are supposed to be on here? So these are 400s. Let's find the rest of the 400s to keep separate. I'm not impressed with this rulebook. The rulebook is not good. I'm going to tell you that. The rulebook's not good. And what worries me about it is that this game could be amazing. But I guarantee that a lot of people won't make it past the rulebook. This game could be, like, insanely fun. I don't know. It could be It could be the next great game, but you can't get past the rule book. So I am going to try to get past the rule book for you. All right, so these are the 400s. Boop, 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 boop. All right, and that's the top of the 400. These are the things that people have to do before they're like, hey, welcome, let's talk about what these decks look like. That's what it is. All right, so these are 400s. And that's this. So this had the top of 400. And this is 400 locked. So I'll keep that over here. Then these are 300, so let's find the 300 deck. I've walked away already a couple of times. Yeah. That's why we do the Learn series. Because once it's figured out, we don't have to worry about the madness anymore. And people who are like, oh, this game's setup seems simple, but whenever really get off my finger. This thing will not let me go. I can't quit you. So I think of your feelings. All right, let's see. 200. 200. 300. All right. Let's do this. Story-heavy games always got this type of setup too, just to put it into perspective. So it doesn't bug me. It doesn't bother me too much. So this is 300. I'll keep the 300s over there, and this is 300. So it's 300, 400. Okay. What's this one? 500. No. 500. I'm enjoying the learn plays you're doing. Yeah. Hopefully they're helpful and people enjoy them for real. 500. This is just a 200 with stuff. This is, what are you? You're 2,000. Over 2,000. There we go. Alright. This is more 500. So this is the last of the 500. Which should be this. Yep. And this is 600. Get it. It's like I should be in Vegas. And that's 1,000. Okay. 600. Okay. This is 200s. The 200s, nope, I don't have a thing for 200s, do I? This is 1,000. Or 1,100, sorry, so that would be these. 1,100. Good Lord. There's a lot of text. I'm going to let you know that now. There's a lot of text. This is 1,300. All right, so this is 1,100. I'll go here. Keep those together. 1,300 is the next one. Oh, we're going to get into this deck. Have to rip it apart. All right. 13, 13, 13. It's not a lot of 13s. It's 13. What are you? 15. I don't see any 15, so this might be the whole deck. See, if you ever watch anybody else's playthrough, this is what they have to go through. $2,000s, which means 200s, and this is more 2,000s. Oh, and these are locked numbers, so these actually go on top of those. Okay. All right, do we match symbols? Maybe? Maybe not. All right, let's see what's in here. I think all of 2,000 is locked. And this is 100. So this is 2,000, which goes with this 2,000. Yeah, it does. And 2,000s are all locked. All of them. Alright, so then, why 2,000 then 100? Like, what the hell's up with that? And this is 200. Okay. 100s. And I'll fix those up in a bit. These are those, and then the 200s. Kill Force sets up faster than this. I'll tell you that now. Okay, 200s. Okay, so we've got, sure everything is where it needs to be. We've got, this will go here, this will go here, that there, there, boom, 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 boom. The storm was not set up exactly like it showed for the realm decks, because it should be more than that. So remove all lock cards from the front to form a supply. Keep each deck of similar numbers, 200, 400, etc., separate for easy retrieval. Separate each realm deck, all remaining cards 300. Shuffle each deck and place the deck's portal card on top. You should end up with 9 realm decks of white cards and 10 decks of lock cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We are correct. Alright, these need to go on top of this, though. But how do we know the location? That's the thing. Like, shuffle each remaining deck and place the deck's portal cards on top. Okay, so we need to form a supply, but how do we know what numbers go on top? I see 2 cards that say 500 on them. So how do you know? Location pivotal cards. Ivor Rest. Okay, so these are location pivotal cards. Okay, place the deck of location pivotal cards within reach, gray sides face up. Okay. Note, faded components are not placed during setup. These areas become filled as the game progresses. First nightmare. First time playing Dreamscape? Follow the quick start tutorial sheet, center pages of this rulebook. Yikes. Alright, then we've got a table of contents. Sure. Winning. The goal of Dreamscape is to escape the nightmare. If your dreamer wakes up before Cthulhu can take control of the nightmare, you win the game. The card will tell you if you have escaped successfully. Losing. There are 2 ways to lose the game. 1. Running out of shards. 2. Having to place a 7th Mythos token on the character sheet. Shard cards, which is this guy here. That. Shards represent the dreamer's largest dream fragments. When a shard is destroyed and there are still shard cards available, draw the next highest number card to continue the game. See Changing Shards on page 19. If no shards remain, Cthulhu gains control of the dream, ending the game immediately, and you lose. This says possible starting realm decks. A shard bonus, action when first drawing the card. In-play ability, permanent ability available while cards is in play. Don't say what they mean. If there are 3 ways to lose shards. We can lose shards through sanity loss, which is this. This is our sanity. Shouldn't that be a brain? Why is it a tentacle? Sure. Our vitality, which is this one, drops to 0. If story card outcomes show the banished shard card icon, which is a red skull. That's how, those are 3 ways to lose shards. Dreamers! Each dreamer character starts a new game at Tier 1 with a unique set of 9 basic skills. Tier 3 will become available in the follow-up adventure Volume 2 to Dreamscape. This is the current tier. These are our skills. And these are our Dreamer abilities. Dreamer abilities. Dreamers of Tier 2 and above have up to 4 special abilities. Activating these abilities requires spending 1 Elder Sign from the experience track or from a reward card only. See rewards on page 12. So I'm assuming that's here. Cool. Nope, that's not even that. A spare elder sign gained from throwing elder runes, page 11, cannot be used to activate these abilities. So there are abilities that we can have here, and those abilities will let us do stuff. Once again, it said page 6 to find out how. So this rule thing said, apply shard bonus shown on the upper left of your shard card. So this is my shard card. Upper left, you say? Do you mean this? I'm assuming you mean this, which isn't really upper left, because that says it's the shard bonus. So that is what it is. So it's not upper left, but we gain 1 more of those going to 2. Okay. Page 6. Dreamers, Setup, and Advances. Dreamer dashboards keep track of statistics, skills, and abilities and bonuses during the game. Each Dreamer character has 4 states. Thank you for explaining this, which you should have done earlier. Lucid dreaming, that's what this is. Deja vu, that's what. So lucid dreaming, ability to manipulate the dream world. That's what this is. Deja vu, the ability to recall memories and relive moments from previous dreams. Sanity, mental ability to resist the nightmare, and vitality, your physical well-being. So once again, this is your current tier, your character insert sheet, your skills that are here, dreamer abilities, which it doesn't look like we have any right now, protected items, so you can have 3 protected items. These 3 slots to protect item cards from forced discards, but not fate effects. So they can be fated, but they can't be forced to be discarded. We have our stat wheels that stats change value during play, and then we have our experience tracked down here. Records experience XP gained from story encounters. So that's what's at the bottom. Each character is double-sided, representing the level of power, tiers, the character has in a dream world. The table below details the initial stats for starting characters tier 1 and changes applied when advancing to tier 2, which would add to our stats. It also shows the maximum item cards and reward cards allowed to be in play at any time. So we'll go back here so you can get a better view instead of me holding up the book. So that is this. So this here with the 13, that is the maximum item cards that we can have, and this 6 is the maximum reward cards allowed in play at one time. So we can have in play a maximum of 13 cards in our tableau, item cards, or 6 reward cards at tier 1. When we get to tier 2, the item cards goes up to 16. Realm decks. That is these that are up here, and I will clean this up to make it look pretty for us to play. Each realm is unique. Each realm is a unique set of story cards and a portal card that shows a matching realm icon. So the house is for self. On all so the matching realm icon on all cards belonging to that deck. Locked realm cards shows a lock icon on each assessed by a story card. Portal cards have passive and active sides, which would be these 2 sides. So portal cards have passive and active sides. Flipping the card to its active side indicates that this is the current realm deck where you will draw story cards. Only one realm deck can be active at a time. So right now, all these decks are passive. But when we go to the world, we will flip it over and they will become active. So passive, this is the locked deck icon. So, well, it's up here in the corner. I'm assuming it's for one of those. It'll say that it has a lock on it if it's a locked deck. The realm deck icon. These are the commonly used skills in that realm deck. So let's zoom into this so you can see this a little better. So in Dilith Lean, this is the realm deck icon that's right here. The name of the realm. These here are the commonly used skills in that realm. So if we don't have that skill, we probably want to avoid trying to get there. But if we do, it might benefit us to go. Then these over here are type icons. It says type icons, story-related icons specific to the realm deck, which is what that is. We'll flip this over to the active side, and we see them here as well, the type icons that are here. We have events, so these are events that happen here. And we have a deck action that's here, like black markets. It was said that you could find anything in the city of Soot if you knew where to look. So these are actions that we can do. All right. Portals indicated with events. Portals indicate what events will trigger when the event icon is shown on the story card. Most portals have a unique deck action that can be triggered when the action symbol appears on the story card. So when this symbol appears on the story card, then this action's available. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Same thing with these events. When these events appear on the story card, is that what it's saying? Portals indicate the events, what events will trigger. Sorry, portals indicate what events will trigger when the event icon is shown on the story card. So when these event icons are shown on the story card, those are the events that will trigger. Alright, gotcha. Gotcha. Location decks. So let's... Oop, nope, wrong thing. That thing. Location decks are like realm decks with a unique... I'm assuming that's this. With a unique icon. Location portal cards... Oh, God. Location decks are like realm decks with a unique icon. Location portal card, but with a single linked story card. This is poorly written. Locations remain locked until discovered during play. They then remain active for the rest of the game. Okay, so these are... I'm getting it now slowly. These are the locked decks. So I'll put them in order. 100, 200, 300, 400, 5, 600, 11, 13, 15, and 2000. So all these are locked. They're all nice and locked for you. So these are the locked stuff. They're locked behind, and let me shift these things out some more too, so I can get them properly in view. My heart is breaking because these cards aren't, because I don't have sleeves for these. Okay. These are locked, right? Got the lock symbol that you see right here. When you unlock them, you grab the lock deck, and this becomes a new location. So basically, you find new locations as you traverse the dream world. But to start the game, they're locked. But once they're unlocked, they stay unlocked. It's coming together. Alright, it's coming together. Location, so those are called location portals. When they're active and you flip them over, we'll talk about that. Beginning. The current shard card... the beginning. The current shard card specifies possible starting realms. So let's take a look at this again, and I'm going to unsleeve it because it doesn't need to be sleeved. Alright, so... this tells me that our possible starting realms can be... Ulthar, Dilithleen, Valley of Skull, or the White Ship. So those are our possible starting locations, right? So it says, the shard card specifies possible starting realms. Take the portal cards indicated, select one randomly, and return the others. Flip the selected card to its active side, placing your character marker on it. This is the active realm from where you will draw story cards. So there are 4. We're going to roll a d4. I'm not doing any of that crap. We're going to roll a d4. Where's my d4? Where's my d4? Here we go. Got my Cthulhu d4. Perfect. Alright, so we got our d4 here. So it's... I'm going to just go off whatever symbol's up here. 3. So we'll be starting at Valley Skull. So our marker here, we're going to flip this over to its active side. And our marker will go on there saying that's where we start. Gotcha! Okay, gameplay. Each turn follows... Put these over here, sorry. It's going to bug me. Throw those over there and keep that back there. Each turn follows a sequence of 6 phases. We have the encounter phase. Draw the top story card of the active deck. Check for event trigger and or optional deck action symbols. Then read the narrative encounter. I believe those gray portal cards only have one specific story card linked to them. The other locked story cards can be accessed via unlocked story cards or even other previously locked story cards. So in other words, almost all of the locked story cards are linked to the main 9 portal realms. The gray portal cards are tiny specific locations. Ah, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Brovoni, thank you so much for that. Alright, so let's put this here, and this here. These are our pool. Don't know what those dice are for yet. And let's get some of this stuff off the table and give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, I did just drop that. That's why I can't have nice things. Okay. This feels like a breathable table space right now. Alright, so the encounter phase. So 6 phases. Phase 1, the encounter phase, draw the top card of the story deck, check for event trigger and or optional deck action symbols, then read the narrative encounter. 2, reaction phase. Choose one reaction option or follow a secret key code link. Use character abilities, item cards, spend rewards, or experience. 3, the resolution phase. Make a skill test by throwing runes or by spending stat points. D2s are not fun. Outcome phase. Flip the card over and read your chosen outcome in the success or fail portion of the card. Result phase. Apply the results indicated and any rewards or penalties shown on the card. Memories phase. If the card phase is not if the story card is not stored for rewards, discard it to memories. I don't know why I said memories first. That's weird. Alright, there's a quick start one that we're going to do, which is how far are we to the quick start? How far are we to the quick start? Oh, we must almost be there. Because these are the phases. Yep. Next page, we start playing. Hey, Barrett, you're all... No, you made it in time. I was just doing setup. You made it in time. We still got a lot to... We're gonna hit the quick start tutorial as soon as we get through 3 pages. Phase 1, the encounter phase. Draw the top card of... Did we shuffle the story around? Did I miss that? Sorry. I gotta go back and look at the rules. This is how I learn. So, realm decks. Keep each realm deck, separate each, shuffle each deck, and place the deck's portal on top. Yes, so we do need to shuffle it. Thank God. Okay. So, phase 1. Encounter. Draw the top story card for the active realm deck and check for the event trigger symbol, which looks like this timer, but it's red. Story cards. Story cards provide narrative situations that offer multiple choices leading to fail or success outcomes. Nice. I can't wait till I get my copy. So excited for this game. Hope it's a winner. It seems so cool. Barrett, I'll tell you, it seemed cool. Hey, Steph, how's it going? It seems cool. This rule book, not so cool. Not so cool. But I'm putting it together slowly. Story cards provide narrative situations that offer multiple choices leading to fail or success outcomes. Story cards have unique reference numbers, which are the page numbers that are on there, and black if locked. So story card front, it'll have its unique identifier, its deck icon, an event trigger, which is what we're looking for if it's up there, any secret icons for variable functions, the narrative, the deck action trigger, the story effect icon, key codes, set icons, and key codes. And we'll go through this when we go through the tutorial. I'm just running through this so we know, so when we see it, we know, right? Dream dice. 3 types of dice are used in Dreamscape. The Elder die, which has the Elder sign, the Cthulhu symbol, the Elder sign, and nothing else. So it looks like it has 2 Elder signs, 2 Cthulhu symbols, and 2 blanks. So, used for variable outcomes. We have the Pip die, which is 1, 2, and 3s. Used for varying levels of effect. And then we have the Reward die. Provides valuable rewards plus 1 stat points, / remove 1 Cthulhu token, condition token, or hunted token from gameplay. So, that's what we get. There are events. When the event trigger symbol is shown on the story card, move the event marker up 1 step on the event track and check the active portal for any applicable results. If the event marker is already at the top of the event track when the event is triggered, it remains here and no event is triggered. So basically, when I see the event, I'll move it up here, then I'll go to here and see what that means. Easy enough. If an event shows an alternative story card in the example space, if event shows an alternate story card must be drawn, this new card becomes active. The previous card goes into memories. So basically here, no, it's not on there, but I'll hold it up here for you to see. So here, you see where it says 635? So if the event gets there and I have to pull 635, the current card I'm on goes into memories, and then I pull the 635 card. So it's kind of like what Brovoni said. Example, while in Sliffus, Sophia's player finds the event symbol on a story card. She moves her event marker up to the event track from position 2 to position 3. She checks the active portal, which indicates Sophia gains +1 Deja vu. Sophia's player then continues reading the story card. Easy enough. Empty realm decks. If the active realm deck runs out of story cards, gain an Elder Sign token. Remove all cards belonging to that realm deck from memories, separating locked from open cards. Shuffle the open cards to reform the new realm deck and return locked cards to their deck. Then choose a different open realm deck to become active. Interesting. Okay, so running out of story cards is bad. Gotcha. Phase 2, reaction. Do the following in order. Check for a deck action. If present, you may trigger the unique deck action shown on the active portal. So that's what that symbol is, which will trigger that, which we'll look at in a minute. Check for story effects. You may apply the effect shown. Active tableau effects. Use item cards, spend experience, rewards, or dreamer abilities in any order. Make a reaction choice from those presented on the story card or follow a complete keycode link. If you are ever unsure what to do after completing a story card, discard the card to memories and draw again from the active realm deck. So if it doesn't tell us what to do, that's what we do. Keycodes, big thing. Keycodes are secret storylines that can be chosen instead of the current story card when matching the icons on item or lore cards with matching icons on story cards. The icons must be horizontally aligned to be valid. The new card can be chosen instead to become active, and the current story card goes into memories. David has matched the knife icons by placing an item card next to the current story card, revealing keycode 116. So once again, we see here, he matched the symbols match, so it was a knife icon. This is his item card. This is the story card. So he matched it. So he'll pull card 0. He will pull card 116. So he may replace his current story card with card 116, which becomes active. The other key card does not match up and thus is invalid because, as you can see here, the symbols do not match. So it is not valid. Resolution phase. Each reaction option usually requires a skill test or reducing a stat to complete the encounter successfully. If you choose an option that says end the encounter or indicates you must draw another story card with a black symbol on it, the current active story card is discarded directly to memories without claiming any rewards or suffering penalties. Skill tests. Passing a skill test requires gaining successes equal to or exceeding a test difficulty. One Elder Sign equals 1 success. There's a weird dainty hand picking up symbol with a 2 next to it. What that means, which is this, that means it has a test difficulty level of 2, which means it requires 2 successes to pass, or 2 Elder Signs to pass. So that's how we pass tests. If the required number of successes is not met, the test is failed. Level 0 tests are automatically successful. So if it's a level 0, we automatically pass. The symbols with the question mark plus the X or the question mark minus the X modify an applicable test difficulty, increasing or decreasing it by the value of X. Gaining successes from a test requires throwing Elder Runes and or spending Elder Signs icons. usually from rewards or the experience track. These are the skills lists that we have that I'm not going to go through. We're almost there. See, it's right here. We're almost there. Elder Rune Pool. Skill tests usually require throwing your Dreamer's Elder Rune Pool to gain successes. The Elder Rune Pool always contains a minimum of 3 fortune runes showing either a left or right half of the Elder sign. 2 fortune runes must be combined to form the complete sign to gain 1 success towards a test. Each skill test bonus, such as, it looks like a mask of some sort, shown on the character sheet, item and lore card, reward cards, or elsewhere adds +1 fortune rune to the pool. So if you get that lovely mask symbol, you get to add a fortune rune to the pool. Hey, I have one of those. Ha ha ha. Runes are thrown only once unless a rethrow action, which is the rune with the circle on it, is used. After this initial throw, additional runes gained from items, lore cards, or rewards can be thrown to improve chances of success. If a character's skill is blocked by a Mythos token, or a test is for a skill not present on the character sheet, the tests can still be attempted. Cthulhu tokens gained when throwing Elder Runes must be immediately placed over a character's ability slot. See page 15. Even if the rune is subsequently rethrown. Failing tests. Even if you fail an encounter, your Dreamer still learns from the experience, benefiting from any XP cubes shown on the card. So there's Elder Runes. There's the Fortune Rune, the Master Rune, the Cursed Rune, the High Fortune Rune, the Artifact Rune, and the Heirloom Rune. Gained from the Heirloom Artifact provides +1 successes or causes. Cool. Skill tests example. Arnier hopes to purchase a Shantak, which requires a influence test of 3. One of those symbols. His Elder Rune pool has 3 fortune runes. He adds a +1 rune for having the symbol, for having the bonus action icon on his character sheet, and another one for the Earthly Coins item card that he has somehow. He has 2 reward cards showing. The handshake symbol icon, influence my brain. So decides to spend both for another +2 fortune runes, discarding the reward cards to memories. Finally, he chooses to add the special rune from his strange heirloom item. Arnier throws 8 runes and gets only 2 successes by matching up half icons. Not enough to pass the test. Worse, the heirloom attracts Cthulhu's attention, gaining a Cthulhu token immediately. Arnier does not have another reward card showing an Elder sign, 1 automatic success, but also he does have another reward card showing the Elder sign, which is 1 automatic success, but also an item card with a rune rethrow action. He chooses to use the item and rethrows his heirloom. Success! He gains the 4 successes, passes the test, and can save the Elder sign reward card for another time. Alright, let's do this. Quick start tutorial. Follow this tutorial for your first game to quickly learn the most important rules. Really past setup. Set up the tableau as shown on pages 3 and 4. For this intro, we will have only 1 shard. No. Okay, so they want me to set up the tableau as shown on page 3 and 4. I did. Okay, cool. For this intro game, we will have only 1 shard. So I only got 1 shard. Am I still starting off in the same area? I'm still not starting off in the same area, so we'll be flipping another area. We first set Rosalina's starting stats to Deja Vu to 1, Lucid to 1, Sanity to 9, and Vitality to 9, as shown on the table on page 7, which we did. She can have a maximum of 13 item cards in play and keep 6 reward cards in hand. We figured that out. After taking 0-1 and its Elder Rune, we draw 3 random item cards from the starting gear deck. Cards 2 to 14. We draw, so we're going to do what it tells us. Card 4, 8, And 13. Oh, I must have drawn 13. So, 10, 11, 12, 13. Bam. So we draw these. The other undrawn item cards are returned to the open items deck. So we've got our trusty Slippers, which has that mask, and they said in the rules when we looked it up that each skill bonus with that mask shown on the character sheet, item and lore card, reward cards, or else adds +1 fortune room to the pool. And that is for the test that you're doing. So if we're doing a test with that symbol, it can add a rune. We also have the influence one, Earthly Coins. So it has influence on it, and it doesn't have any keys. And then we have this one, which is some form of conversation, but we have it on our card as well. So, all right, so those are our starting 3. We recommend you separate this sheet from the rule book for easy future reference. No, you could have printed it out in 2 separate sheets. We want to protect these starting items from potential discard effects, so must choose which to place in the 3 protected slots, which is up here, above the character sheet. Place the heirloom 1 here, and 2 other cards, leaving 1 item vulnerable. If this is a tutorial, why don't you tell me which card to leave vulnerable? So we'll do the mask, and we'll do the Earthly Coins. How about that? And we got 1 card that's vulnerable, which is this card. So that's our vulnerable card. But these are locked and protected. We take the 1 shard card, make note of the ability on the lower part. She gains, okay, so this one. She can spend, where was I reading that? Where was I reading that from? She can spend 4 Deja Vu to gain +1 Lucid at any time and follow the instructions on the upper part. Rosalina gains +1 Lucid. So this should go back to 1, and she gained +1 Lucid, which is 2. Okay. Gameplay. The shard card spell. So we'll take this, flip this back over, because we're not starting here. The shard card specifies 4 possible realm decks to start in, so we take the portal cards from those decks and choose one randomly. We choose Caliphus, returning the others. The Caliphus portal card is flipped over to its active side. We place the Rosalina character marker on the portal to show Rosa is traveling in the Caliphus realm deck, and the event marker is placed on the lowest blue space of the event tracker. We are now ready to join one of Rosaline's scattered dream fragments exploring the fair city of Celiphus. Phase 1. Let's do it. Phase 1. So these would get shuffled. So let me shuffle these because they said you shuffle these. Phase 1. We draw the first story card from the Caliphus deck, 615, and read the narrative section. So we shuffle these up, and I grab 615 because, you know, stuff. Okay. All right. We notice a key code on the bottom left position, but we don't yet know what this is linked to, so we must ignore it. And that looks like this is the key code right here that you see right here at the bottom. We have it, but we don't know what it's linked to, so we leave it alone. And then read the narrative. Dus found me at the seaward wall, where the... Oh, God, I gotta go over here. Where the stevedores and sailors from regions beyond the Cyrenian Sea gathered to trade tales. The harbor water sparkled with 1,000,000 shining motes to match the twinkling lights appearing throughout the city above. The sunset tones gave way to the indigo veils of night. Majestic merchant galleys rode the quiet ripples near spice-fragrant wharves full of painted fishing boats from towns down the coast. God, they need to stop this. Ever new seemed the deathless city From here, time had no power, and the same ships as of old still rested at anchor, waiting for cargoes that perhaps never arrived. Good lord. I would have to hold that up to my face and y'all wouldn't be able to see a thing. Okay, so we read the narrative. Then the reaction options require skill tests. The first two tests, however, are difficulty 0 and therefore automatically succeed. So it says here, a Tib sits on a crate of Shogun spice, just like on previous occasions. You may greet him as before, which is that test. Do you even give me a name for these symbols? For the love of God. Do you give... Let me look in the rule book. See if there's names for these symbols, because I don't want to call them that symbol. Here we go. Talk, persuade, charm, befriend, or judge. So it says, you may greet him as before, communicate with someone on a 0, which is an automatic pass, or spend the evening enjoying Celphane's delights, which is a narrative choice not requiring a skill test, to rest, wait, or stay still, so just hang out, which is a free pass, or ask the revelers about gates to the waking world, and that is a trade, bargain, gossip, or evaluate test. So it's a gossip test of 3. This says the reaction options require skill tests. The first two tests, however, are difficulty 0 and therefore automatic successes. The gossip test is harder, but applying both Rose's character skill bonuses and the bonus given by 08 would help us attempt it. Resolution. The option about Athib sounds interesting, so we choose that. Automatically succeeding the talk test. Note, the other options are now closed to us until we return to this card in the future. So we now flip the card over and read only the talk success story entry. Okay, I'm going to hold this up because I'm old and this is the smallest text. Atib greeted me as an old friend and offered to share some of his thagweed. 22, then 621. Alright, so now we flip it over, read the outcome results. The paragraph states that we gain item 22, adding it to our tableau. We can swap this with a protected card if we wished, but then we would need to test road. We would need to test... What the hell symbol is that? That's not a symbol we have in the skills list. We need to test what looks like a road symbol 1 for the removed item. Instead, we leave the thagweed unprotected. So we gain item 22. Swear to God, I'm not making this up. So we gain item 22, which is the thagweed. Right, item 22. Ooh, it's got a nice little symbol thing on it. And that is in our unprotected tableau as well. Finally, this card tells us to draw the lock 621. 615 is now successfully completed, so you can gain this card from the... What? Okay, so then so we would gain lock card 621. 615 is now successfully completed, so we can gain the card for the rewards shown, which is +1 sanity, question mark head symbol, and +1 deja vu. Instead of storing it for later, we choose to spend the card now for +1 deja vu. Oh, we can either gain... Is it an or? Okay, let's go to the rule book. Let's go. I'm going to pull this up so y'all can see it. Page... Is there a freaking page number on here? There's not even a page number on here. I'm just going to scroll until I see it. Here we go. Alright, so it says, finally this card tells us to draw 621. 615 is now successfully completed, so we can gain the card for the reward shown. It's +1 sanity, plus this, or Deja Vu. Instead of storing it for later, we choose to spend the card now for +1 Deja Vu. Now, how do we know this? Because if we look at the bottom of the card, there's 3. Is this an or? Because according to this, it says this comma plus... Oh, this comma plus... They don't use Oxford commas. Son of a... Okay, now I understand. You get to pick whichever one you want. You get one of the 3. Okay, gotcha. You get one of these, not all 3 of them. Boy, that'd have been great to tell us, but sure. Okay, so we did our +1 Deja Vu. Then phase 6 memories. This card is now, the story card is now finished, so we discard it to memories and draw. So I'll put a memories. Let's see where they say the memories discard pile is in the story, in the game setup, and we'll do that accordingly. Y'all need some serious errata for this game, I'm not gonna lie. Where is the memories discard? Play in areas for place tiles, rewards. There is none. They don't tell you to make a memory discard, so they've not even told you what, well, you know, they say place it into memories, which I assume means discard. So let's search for memories and see if that's what it is. Because it said they all stack together when they're done. And then you take it apart and reshuffle. So they should have a symbol in their book that says what the discard is. And we'll put the discard over here. Okay. And draw a lock memory 621. Good lord. Okay. I almost got to it. 621. All right. Okay, so we do 621. So it says draw a card 621, which is this. You can look at it, then I'm going to pull it and read it. Okay, there is no event icon nor deck action icon on this card. There is another key code, but for now we must ignore it. We read the narrative section. So we're back to the encounter phase, phase 1, doing this. So hopefully you read it. I'll put it back later after I read it. According to Tib, I had known him for many years. I asked whether I was the same person as before. Surprised, he answered that I had always been me. How could I be me and also another? I explained how I felt connected to the other dreamers as if they were part of me, yet looked outwardly different. A tip suggested perhaps it was the city's curse that prevented its citizens from forming new memories. He explained that produce had to be shipped here because it would not grow in Uthnaragi, and no children were ever born, because change and the act of growing required the blessings of Krons, Lord of Time. All right, there you go. Enjoy. Enjoy your eyes. Okay. The reaction options, again, all require skill tests. We don't have... It says if we have item 127, we don't have item 127 in place, so cannot take that option, and do not wish to leave Sisyphus yet, so instead decide to try the handshake test. So it says, luckily a Tib has a ship and thus can escape the city. You can ask for passage to another by doing that. If we had that card, we could do the second one, and this thing wants us to stay. So it says, inquire if he is willing to sell any spice. So we decide to do this test of 3. Gotcha. Okay. So we're doing the test of 3. Then the trade test options requires 3 successes to pass Rosa's Rosa's Elder Rune pool has a base of 3 fortune runes. 1, 2, 3. Her trade skill gives her 1 more Elder Rune, so her trade skill is this one. So that gives me 1 more. Need to drop, folks. Happy playing. Yeah, no problem, family people. And item 8 provides another. Item 8, which is here, has that rune, so it would provide another rune. We decided to add the special rune, this one, from her strange heirloom to the pool, and therefore throw 6 Elder Runes. What do they mean by throw? Only one fortune rune can be matched to the heirloom rune, giving her only 2 successes. She fails the test. Okay, what do you mean throw? Does that literally mean throw? Do I just match the runes? What does that even mean? Okay, the road symbol means fading item, which is in the back of the book, but not anywhere where it was in the rules to tell me to look there. I'm looking for what it means to... does it mean shake it up and throw them? The trade test requires... only 1 fortune rune can be matched to the heirloom rune, giving her only 2 successes. She fails the test. How? Can't I do something like this? Or am I not allowed to do that? Like... What do you mean throw? Let's reread. Okay. Let's see. Make a skill test by throwing runes or spending stat points. What do you mean by throw runes? Alright, I'm going to have to go to BGG on this one. Elder Rune Pool. Skill tests usually require throwing your Dreamer's Elder Rune Pool to gain successes. The Elder Rune Pool always contains a minimum of 3. You throw them like dice. Is that right? Okay. So in her example it shows, but I want to... so you just juggle them up and just dump them out. And you dump them out, and you say I can only match 1. I don't know what the differences are. They all seem the same to me. Alright, so only 1 fortune rune can be matched to the heirloom rune. Oh, it actually matches. Oh. Oh. I see. Oh, that's slick. That's a little slick. The up arrow, so I would have to have this one here doesn't match. So let me show you in the zoom. Okay, I get it. I get it. So when I threw this symbol. Now if you notice here, there's this up here thing here, there, and there. So if I'm gonna put anything to connect to them, I need to match that up. Like that. This one doesn't match that side, as you can see. It doesn't match that side. So that's not right. This one here does match that side, so you can see that that's the only way that you'll know is that up connector. And then this one here doesn't match. And this one here doesn't match either. So that's... So you have to match them. With the metal dice, it's a little bit more difficult. But I think with the other ones, that's kind of what it's going for. It's going for that they have to perfectly form. And with the metal dice, you can only tell because of the up arrow. So in this case, what I threw is 3 successes, which is 1, 2, 3, which would pass the test. But we're going with the tutorial, which says it's 2. So only 1 fortune rune can be matched to the heirloom, giving her only 2 successes. She fails the test. Outcome. We now flip the card over and must read the failure outcome only. So we'll move this, and we read the failure outcome. Where's that? How do we know what the failure outcome is? It just says the failure outcome only. How do we know what the failure outcome is? You did not instruct me. I'm assuming... Is this fail? Blue arrow success, red arrows failure. Thank you. Let me look in the rule book, because if I miss that, I will own that. So far from everything I've read, nothing's saying that. I'm looking for images. Let's see if it's further in the rules outside of the tutorial. Yep, it's right after. So here's the tutorial. Here we are. That's where it tells you where to do it. On the next page after the tutorial's over. So that kind of needs to be put here in outcome to say blue is success, red is failure. I'm not trying to come down hard on them, but it's something that's going to throw a lot of people. And this, like I said, I already struggle with rule books. A Tibbs ship, Foam Crest, had just arrived in port and would need to set sail again until the spice cargo has been offloaded and sold. So, results. Not too bad. There's no spice available. We can return later in the dream and try again. The penalty section shows 2 hunted tokens. Sure. Which must be applied if possible. We have no hunted condition cards in place, so can ignore this penalty. So we only get 1 reward, but we get all of the fail. Okay. Memories. The finished story card is discarded to memories, and because no other card is specified, we draw a new story card from the current realm. So this would be discarded, and then we draw a new card from the current realm. Phase 1. The story card, so we need to draw 618. Does not say to do that. 618. Okay, 618. Boom. Phase 1. The card shows a symbol here, right? So we raise the event track by 1. So that's an event symbol. So we raise the event track by 1, going up to that. This triggers the deck effect. So when we look at the deck, which is this, when we land on this, it triggers this effect. So this triggers the deck effect action, which then we move over to rest and relaxation. So Rosa can raise her vitality stats by +2. If for a while the beauty of the city pushed back my nightmare tears, so I can do this or that. After reading the narrative, so you want me to raise my stat by 2? Sure. It says, I'm just following what it says, raise my health by 2. So I go from 9 to 11. Okay, cool. Done. Put that back there. After reading the narrative and reaction options, we gain some stuff. Okay, so let's read. Attracted by roaring water, I came across a beautiful bridge arcing over the narrow gorge through which the Narlex flowed. The rushing river frothed in brilliant white cascades over glistening rocks covered in verdant green mosses and liverworts. Spots of color fitted here and there as a myriad of long-tailed butterflies arrived to lick minerals from the wet rocks. But even in this tranquil setting, I noticed Cthulhu's influence. As the butterflies took flight, larger ugly birds which crossed beaks swooped down to snatch them away. The locals clapped each time another insect was eaten. There you go. After reading the narrative and reaction options, so our reaction option is you may pause to observe the butterflies, or if we have this card, we could do that as free, or follow the river's path through the city. We gain +1 to Rosa's stats, considering... Let's pull it up on the screen, because it must be me. Here we go. So, this card shows the event symbol, so we raise the event track by 1. This triggers the deck action, which that makes sense. So Rosa can raise her vitality stat by 2. Period. After reading the narrative and reaction options, we gain +1 sanity to Rosa's stats. How? If I chose to do... It didn't tell me what to do. It didn't tell me to choose an option. It just said to read an option that's there. And we gain +1 to Rosa's stats. So I'm assuming I don't get the 2 health, right? I'm assuming I don't get the 2 health because I'm probably at max health. And instead I gain a sanity, which would align with this card. Because it says when this triggers... I read this, and I could gain 2 health, or this. So, if that's the case, then that. You're saying on the border. On the border of... Oops, sorry. On the... Oh, here. Who the... Okay, sure. So, it's here that we see it, so this is something we have to look out for. Let's take a look. I want to make sure... That is called a story effect icon. But that's all we know of it. Okay, sure. So I'll gain the 2 health and that. Gotcha. 2 health and that. Fantastic. Okay, considering options, we decide to leave the observe test for now and choose the walking one with 0 test instead. Phase 3. The test is automatically successful, so instead of rolling the Elder Rune pool, we can move directly to Phase 4. Phase 4. The status outcome tells us we've discovered a new location. So Phase 4 here. Following the other citizens led me to this wide pool, which is this location. So we've discovered a new location, which is the fish one. Phase 5. Firstly, however, we can claim the current card for rewards. And those rewards would be one of those. Firstly, however, we can claim the card for rewards. We gain 1 experience point, so can move the experience marker up 1 step on the experience track. The other rewards are still bonuses which can be spent later to add Fortune Rune to our pool, or saved up towards gaining a skill mastery upgrade. We therefore store the card and do not place it in memories. Okay, so this here tells us that we gain an experience. That right there. Then we're going to store this for later. So I gotta zoom out. I tried to do this as best as I can. So I'll move these cards because this store goes here. So we take this card, we gain our experience to move this up 1 on the track, and then we take this card and store it underneath here for further use of these symbols later in the future during tests. So we can save up and do tests that way. The other rewards are still bonuses which can be spent later to add a Fortune Rune to our pool or save up towards a skill mastery upgrade. We therefore store the card and do not place its memories. To discover location, we flip over portal 24, which is the fish location. It's at the bottom. The iridescent pool. Very late, but hey, wanted to say hi before I head to bed. All right, man. Yeah, get some rest, Paul. You've been amazing. You've helped me so much today. Hopefully you get some good rest. To discover location, we flip over location portal 24, iridescent pool, to its active colored side. Placing it on top of the Celephus portal, this is now our temporary location within Celephus, and will remain an active location for the rest of the game. We move our character marker to here also. It says to its active colored side, which is this, which is not what they're showing, and this takes over that location. So now we've moved from that location to a new location, and that's where we are. And it'll stay there. Phase 1. All locations have a linked story card. In this case, 671, which is what we saw there. So we draw this now. I like what I'm seeing. The rules are just making it really, really hard. But I like what I'm seeing so far. It's a very nice narrative adventure. After reading the narrative, we gain lore card 163, which shows the matching key code. Okay, so here, the Naraks rushed over multiple tumbling cataracts, bisecting the city. The king had employed fine artists and architects to release their imaginations and fashion the most sumptuous platforms, viewpoints, and arching bridges to cross the river. That is not a comma. Following other citizens, I came across a deep pool overhung with elegant willow and plum. Visitors would throw in coins for wishes or feed the brightly dappled fish swirling languidly through the crystal clear waters below. Equally colorful and noisy finches warbled in the low-hanging trees. So when it comes here, we gain reward card 163 is what it says. So it says, a lore card, sorry, not reward card. We gain lore card, after reading narrative, we gain lore card 163 because it's there. So we'll grab lore card 163. Which shows the matching key code. As long as 163 remains in play, we will be able to find this location in the future, by matching its key code on story card 671. Oh, by matching its key codes on story cards. Frickin' hell. I actually am a very good reader. This is driving me insane. 671, which is where we were before, also shows this icon. So we can choose to trigger the deck action shown on the location card. Which is this. The Wisest of Fish action requires 4 hammer test. If successful, we get to roll 1 elder die with different outcomes depending on the result. Elder signs would give us a precious +1 to not used to the terminology yet. Lucid dreaming. A precious +1 to lucid dreaming. A Cthulhu symbol would send us to a different realm deck showing the city icon in the top right corner. Okay. We choose to skip the action deck for now and instead return to 671, reading the narrative and then choosing a reaction. So we did read this narrative already. And our reactions are, you may observe the fish for free, enjoy the tranquility for free. If we have item card 62, which we do not, we may feed the fish, or if we have card 8 or 68, we have card 8, is in play, make a wish. It is time for you to save Rosaline from her nightmare. Note, after completing the story card, the dreamer will return to the Celifus Realm deck to draw a new story card. If the Iridescent Pool location card is set aside, oh god. After completing the story card, the dreamer will return to Celifus Realm deck to draw a new story card. Period. The Iridescent Pool location card is set aside now, face up at 6, and 671 is recycled before it for easy access later. I'm reading the words as they're written, I swear to God. So, and that's it. They just dump us off to keep going. That's it. Alright, so let's finish this and then we'll read more. So we can observe the fish, enjoy the tranquility. If we have card 8 or 68 in play, we can make a wish. So we have card 8, which is Earthly Coin. So we're going to make a wish. Because it might end up discarding the card. Don't know. We're going to flip it over and make a freaking wish. Alright, we don't get any experience because that's what we're checking. And we made a wish. I don't know what any of that means, so thank you, game, for dropping me off on something I don't know what it means. So let's go through the book. Does that mean... Okay, that means discarding... so the first symbol means discarding items. The discard item action is shown by this symbol with a red arrow. Any item can be chosen to be discarded, and any tokens on it or elder runes associated with it must be discarded. Locked item cards return to the lock deck means this item card specifically must be discarded. The maximum number of item cards allowed in play depends on the dreamer's tier level. So we have to discard item card 8. So it says discard item card 8. So it'll go back to its deck, which I'll show you that later. Then something. What's that mean? It looks like a re-roll with a 1 on it? Yeah. Fade test. To make a fade test, well, no. To make a fade test, roll a fade test on a 1-on-1 basis. To make, is that a, oh, that's a question mark. Bloody hell. Roll the reward die. Reroll 1 Elder Rune, any shape. So that is roll the reward die once. That's what that symbol means. Roll the reward die. Cool. This is the reward die. And we get something. We got that symbol. Alright, let's see what that symbol means. I think this rule book is hurting this game because the game seems very cool. Alright, what does that symbol mean? I'm just searching for a symbol that looks like that to tell me what it means. It's a token, it looks like, almost. Provide variable rewards. +1 stat point. Remove 1 Cthulhu token, condition token, or hunted token from a card in play. So this tells me to remove a condition token from a card in play. So is it a wasted stat then? Like, I rolled that, I got that, I'm screwed? I don't have a condition card in play. So what happens when that happens? Let's check the rule checker. Rewards. 2 matching reward icons on a story card. Penalties, memory, story rewards. I'll read that too because that's important. Additional rules. Card effects. Gaining items. Fading, protecting, bartering, exchanging, gaining lore, gaining Cthulhu tokens, threat tokens, gaining conditions, masteries, experience, talents, using Deja Vu, using Lucid Dreamlands, progression. This is seeming super complicated when I don't think it... Yeah, it doesn't have to be at all. Well, I'm assuming I lost the card for nothing. That's how I'm kind of reading that right now. I've rolled, I got that symbol to get rid of, and I don't have any cards in play for a reward, so I lost the card for nothing. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Great reward. I think you get a reward. Well, but I'm looking to see what the rewards are. So let's go to... I'm going to pull this up again so y'all can see it. Pull this up again so y'all can see it. Where is... Here. Dream Dice. Number 3. So you said check one of your tip cards. It says remove, add a token to a card. So this said provide variable rewards plus 1 stat point, which is either one of these 3, in sanity, lucid dreaming, or deja vu. Remove 1 Cthulhu token, condition token, or hunted token from a card in play. So where are you seeing add a token to a card? Reward die. Spend to roll the reward die immediately, claiming the indicated reward. That is what the symbol that I got on that card. And those are the outcomes of that roll. So where are you seeing it says remove and add a token to a card? Help me out. Help me out. I am completely open to feedback. Because that's not what that says. Yeah, tell me what page you found that on, which contradicts that page. And I am more than happy to trust you. That's refreshing a save. Has that symbol. Saving a game has a specific symbol. Oh, my bad. I was looking at reward icons and penalty icons. You should be looking at the Dream Dice card. Well, that's what that thing says, right? Dream Dice card. Okay, so what it looks like what you're talking about is this, which is Dream Dice, which is this where you say +1 to Deja Vu, +1 to Sanity, +1 to Lucid Dreaming, minus, yes, it's a condition token, so think in this case nothing happens. Yeah, so nothing happens. Basically, like I said, I lost the card for nothing. Great reward. Great reward. Okay. And then it just dumps you all. And then the thing just dumps you off. After completing this story card, the dreamer will return to the CFS Realm deck to draw a new story card. The Iridescent Pool location card is set aside, now face up, and 671 is recycled below it for easy access later. So this gets set aside But I thought this was supposed to be the new location. Like, I thought that was supposed to be the new location. Because this said this becomes the new location while you're here. So I didn't travel anywhere. I just did the thing. I'm assuming it's saying I'm still here because I have to draw another story card. So it says after completing, the dreamer will return to draw a new story card. So we're going to draw a new story card. And I'm assuming this goes, I'll put it there so I don't have to draw into that. And then we draw this. Thanks for dumping me off. Boy, 613. The Streets of Pillars was famous for its lofty statues with real orchids entwined about them. This time, I headed up the onyx slab processional way to the turquoise temple of Nath Harathra. Built 10,000 years ago by the 80 orchid wreath priests who still worship there. For time had no dominion in Silphus, its people living in perpetual paradise. The temple dedicated to Leonine Nathabuthaba, virtuous great one and the god of the city, watched over the seaport below from its massive triple domes shining with colored slate and aquamarine marble, while Musean voices rolled pleasantly out across the city's rooftops. It has only this one story card linked to it. You've interacted with it, so now you've continued to Sisyphus. Okay. Okay, so we'll put Sisyphus back, and we'll do that. There is no thingamadoo here, right, if we're doing the action phases. So in counter phase, we check for a thing, there isn't one there. We come down here, there's no reward here. So then you may pay your respects to the great ones of the Dreamlands for a test of that by 3, or visit the Museum of Antiquities and gain that, I assume. Or speak to the priests. Yeah, I'm not good at that. Or seek an audience with the high priest for 4. Yikes. Let's visit the Museum of Antiquities. I want to make sure I did this right. Which was the one that gave me a thingamadoo? Yeah. So I'll gain. So I'll speak. So I'll visit the museum. I will visit the Museum of Antiquities to gain 623, and that's a gold card, right? That is not a gold card. It does not go that high. Oh, it's a dark card. It's a locked dark card. Okay. 623. All right. So we do. So we just go to 623. We don't even resolve this. Okay, this doesn't get resolved. We just go straight here to 623. The Eastern Wing was an impressive museum of antiquities. I was astonished that my dream could furnish the details I saw now. Tall jet statues of the elder goddess Ubistis, the petrified hand of Yizik Cho, the sorcerer king, exquisitely detailed armor of the blue-skinned even the ivory throne of serpent-headed Queen Gisdars, who almost tricked Kuranis but lost both her kingdom and her head instead. Most of the antiquities, however, had some connection to the great old ones, the lost gods of the Dreamlands, a replica of the golden mace of Nath Harathrath, the Everflow water pitchers blessed by Outkronos, and the silver jade flute of Nodin's... Oh, good lord. You can remain in this section, find the area dedicated to the Elder Gods instead, study the collected histories of the Dreamlands. Let's find the area dedicated to the Elder Gods. Oh, wait. We got symbols. We got symbols, people. I don't have anything to match those symbols. Okay, so we're going to the hourglass here. We will gain an experience, which is here. So we'll move up 1 on the board. Many powerful gods were presented here, including Hypnos, Ulthar, Kron, Nagalababa, and others. I left a small offering to each, +1 to lucid dreaming. And then I gain the reward. So let's do +1 to lucid dreaming. And then that symbol at the bottom in terms of rewards. So rewards gained for passing tests. Rewards are shown at the bottom of the success session. They can be used immediately or stored for later use. The current tier level dictates how many reward cards can be stored, 6. Only 1 symbol or icon can be claimed for each reward card unless 2 of the same are shown. In such cases, both rewards must be used together for a single test or upgrade. The card is then discarded to memories. So we can gain... Spend to add +1 success to any test or character ability. Or... spend to reroll 1 Elder die. We're going to store this for later. This is going to be helpful later. So we store this. Remember, we can only have 6. This is discarded to memories. And then we return back there to draw another card. The game is starting to flow. So... from what I gather, I haven't run into anything dangerous yet like an enemy, which is scary enough. But from what I'm gathering so far, what we're doing basically, and I'll put this, where is it? I'll put this back on here. And 3 in our pool. And then the rest go back. What we're basically doing, like the game says, is we're walking the dream world to find out what, to understand what's happening. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Now, we can slot something here to save it from being destroyed whenever something's faded. Let's do that with the food. It really doesn't help us much. Actually, let's do it with symbols. We'll do it with the feathered hat. That gives us symbols. So we'll put that there since the other got discarded. Alright, so... then we draw, so we went, basically I went through all 6 steps very fast. I did the encounter, reaction, resolution, read the outcome, dealt with the results, and we discarded it to memories. Now we're back to phase 1. So we just keep doing that until, after completing the active story card, and if it has not been stored in rewards, discard it to memories or beneath its location card. If its location linked, see page. Then begin again phase 1 until either you find a special win story card or you lose the game. So we keep repeating this, going through the world of dreams to see what we can find, which I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right, so 674. I'll put it up under there after I read it because when I have to squint over there, it gets hard. Finding the traveler's outfitter was proving exceedingly difficult. Locations of streets and buildings were not fixed. Courtyards led to stairs that spiraled up minarets that then returned to stairs or out onto flat roofs. The city shifted about, architecture changing position each time I visited. Only the grand harbor, streets of pillars, and palace were easy to find. The cheery laughter of gaudy crowds grated on my nerves, so I ducked onto a narrow stairs offering succor from a relentless sun. In the shadows sat a figure so horrifically burnt that it seemed almost carbonized. So that would be this. There was no... I looked for the symbol. Yeah, it's a tough nut to crack, but it does seem to have a unique flavor. It does. This symbol... there's no symbol here for us to deal with. There's no symbol here for us to deal with. There's no symbols that we can match up if we want to. So we need to choose. You may try to remember where you have seen this poor wretch before to lose a deja vu. Demand it leaves you alone, pulling free of its gruesome grip, so we can test a runaway for free, or remain to see what it wants to spend some time for free. So we auto pass these 0 tests. I think I'm going to go for Deja Vu. Let's try Deja Vu and see what happens. So I'm going to spend 1 Deja Vu going from 2 to 1. And then we're going to flip this over and see what that does. So the Deja Vu test, we don't gain any experience. So this anguished revenant had previously tried to pass on a message. Perhaps I would listen this time. Blank on end the encounter. All right, so let's see what those symbols mean. There's a weird check mark thingy. What does that mean? Shift realms. Nope, that's a book. Story card shifts. When drawing a story card from a different realm deck, the dreamer automatically shifts to the new deck following the steps. So, what does that arrow mean now, if it's an arrow? You gotta do better with these things, people. Here we go. Flip over a story card and either read the relevant outcome or choose an alternate reaction option. What? Flip over a story card? What you talking about, Willis? The anguished revenant had previously tried to pass on a message. Perhaps I will listen this time. And that says flip over a story card and either read the relevant outcome or choose an alternate reaction option. Oh, pick something else. Gotcha. Why does it have to be so complicated? So basically, flip this back over and make another option or end the encounter. So go back over here and pick something else or be done. That's what it means. Why this symbol? What does that symbol mean anyway? Recycle a story card back into its realm or location deck. This... Oh, frickin' hell. This to an alternate realm. So either end the... So after we do that, we then do that. So we need to pick something... So do this, because it says, perhaps we should listen. Pick another option or end the encounter, period. Then there's this thing. And that thing says, location story cards... are always returned to below their matching location portal after completion. This symbol... Nope, that's the wrong symbol. I need to find the right symbol. Recycle a story card back into its realm. So basically shuffle it back into its deck. Shuffle this to an alternate realm. Recycle this to an alternate... to an alternative realm. What? What are you... Ooh. You get in your own way of a great game. Constantly. Are you kidding me? So, additional rules. Exploration. Traveling between realms or locations is called shifting and represents you jumping between dream fragments or crossing borders between realms. So those symbols can help me shift realms, but nothing that I got here. And... Let's see. I think there's something cool here. I know I don't like bad rule books, But I think this bad rule book will make people be like, nope, I got other games to play. I got 10 billion other games to play. I don't have time for this crap. Boof, gone, sold. However, I think there's something good here. I just think the rulebook is bad. So basically, we're going to recycle this card to another realm after we it says, so pick something else or end the encounter. Maybe it gets shuffled into another realm to be discovered again later. It would be it would fit the trippy dream. And it makes sense. The problem is which realm? What's the other realm? Random realm? How do we do random realms? We never did random realms before. There's nothing in the rulebook that says how to random realm. So it's one of those things where it's asking you to do something that has not been discussed even in a walkthrough tutorial. And I'm just kind of searching through to make sure I'm not crazy. There's even stuff you could do with the dials that they don't explain in the tutorial or even before the tutorial, and they just dump you off. Be like, all right, good luck. Yeah, it doesn't really state. So it would be trippy, but how do I know where to shuffle it into? Into an alternative realm. How do I determine that? Do I roll a d6? This game doesn't come with d6s. Do I pick the realm to the left? How do you determine that? It's not clearly stated. Now, I can house rule that and say, okay, well, I'm going to roll, there's 9, I'll roll a d10 and pick a number, and that's where it'll get shuffled into. But is that right? Is that what the intent of the thing is? We don't know. And this is why this rule book will destroy this game. It's like what happened with ether fields. Let's not end the encounter. Let's go back over here. And I'm a sucker for anything Lovecraft. This is the first game I backed and then canceled. Looks like I made a good decision. I think there's good stuff here. I think that's the trouble. The trouble is there's I think this is cool. You're lucid dreaming, it's kind of trippy, you're walking through the world, it makes sense. However, and I've heard this before from a multitude of content creators and a multitude of people who aren't content creators who are just straight in the hobby. And the thing is, if your rulebook is so bad, I've got 10,000 other games to play that I don't have to waste my time with your bad rulebook, and I will go play something else. And what happens is games that could potentially be really good die by their rulebook, and they never get played and they don't do well, even though it could be a good game. Like I've only thrown the runes once. I haven't had a chance to throw runes again. I'm still going through kind of this world to figure out about this character and how she works. We're in this really trippy city that we could travel from. Is it cool only because you're also a Lovecraft fan and you're trying to see the best in it? No. You should watch my Oathsworn video. No. I was a massive fan. I've been a massive fan of a lot of games. And they just sucked, right? And I think here, I haven't had a chance to really see if this game is good. Like, I'm not trying to build this game up as, it's... I'm actually reading this, and as I'm going through it, I'm saying, there's something here. Like, I do like Lovecraft, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I didn't like the Cthulhu Pandemic game. I thought it was terrible. I culled my Arkham Horror 3rd Edition because I don't play it enough because I prefer to play Eldritch Horror. Honestly, if Cthulhu Death May Die and Eldritch Horror are my only Arkham games that I own out of all the Arkham stuff that's out there. And I've tried a lot of them, and I've said they've sucked, and I got rid of them and didn't want them. So, I'm not doing it because I'm a Lovecraft fan. I really think there's something here. But I think this rulebook is destroying what it is, and people will say, I don't want anything to do with this game. because the rulebook's dumb, and I will go play Nemesis. I'll go play Dice Throne. I'll go play Cthulhu Death May Die. If I want a Lovecraft experience, I'll go play Cthulhu Death May Die. I'll go play Dawn of Madness if I want a horror theme. I don't have to deal with this. And so they're like, thank God I didn't back this thing, because their rule book is not good. So it's a harsh reality, and I hope if they watch this later that they can actually take that feedback and say, we need to release an updated rulebook that is better than what we sent to backers. Because I can see this game turning around and getting booted out the door by at least 10 people that I know. But I think there's something here, honestly. Let's remain to see what it wants and go to the timer thingy. I lean in to listen to the whispered warning. The broken face peeled apart like a starfish, revealing thousands of barbs. Read the entry opposite of what? Oh, this. Mother of God. So I oh my God. Okay, so this is the pass, this is the fail. And we need to do a test on this of 2. Okay, so now we're going to do a test. We have 3 in our pool. We can put this thing in there. And we just have to match 1 when we throw these runes. Unless this thing flips to its bad side, then that's awful. Do we have any other sword fight thingies? We can use one of our bottom ones for a success if we need it. So we're stuck at 4. However, another thing that the rulebook didn't tell you that I just happened to glance at is lucid dreaming. So let me pull that up so you can see this as well. Another reason why the rulebook's not good. Past so many things. What page we're going to? Where is it? Where is it? Good Lord, where even am I? Oh, I gotta keep going. Past everything, even fighting, even past fighting, you get down to here. This section. Using lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is the dreamer's most powerful ability, allowing you to take direct control of the dream by stabilize. -1 lucid dreaming to immediately gain 2 sanity and 2 health, even if either stat has just dropped to 0. How the frick would I have known that if that's at the back of the rule book? That is an important part of this book. Dreamskip. -1 to discard. What's that symbol mean? Something. After reading the narrative section of a story card, you may discard the card directly to memory. So discard the card after reading the narrative section so you don't have to deal with it at all. Lucid dreaming. Surge. -1 lucid dream to add one of these high fortune runes to the pool for your next skill test. Why is this not up front? Why is this not something that has been explained earlier? This is major. Rejuvenate. -5 lucid dreaming to upgrade a dreamer's tier level from 1 to 2. So I have 3 lucid dreaming. I'm saying I have to pass this test, and I had no idea I could surge. I had no idea I could surge because this thing isn't there. It's like you don't want your game to be successful. So I can use one of my lucid dreamings to add one of these tokens with this symbol here to my test, to one test. And now I have a chance of doing something. So I can put them in here, and then I can just throw them. I got the Cthulhu symbol, but I still got that, and I got 1, 2. I actually have all 3. I have 3. I have success and this symbol. So what does that symbol mean? Let's find out. Is that an auto fail? Is that what that thing is? Why is this not something that is pretty upfront? Like I said, it's. I'm gonna tell them about their. So Cthulhu tokens gained when throwing Elder Runes must be immediately placed on a character's ability slot. See page 15. 15. Gaining Cthulhu tokens. Cthulhu tokens represent the Great Old One's influence over the nightmare. Gained tokens are placed onto the character ability spaces on the character sheet. If a token covers an ability symbol, that ability cannot be used until the token is removed. Okay, so when we gain one of these, we put it here. We put it there in our symbol. But we have 1, 2, 3 because we matched those successes. Yep, we did match those successes properly, so we passed the test. So we passed. I kicked viciously and the thing collapsed, a burnt corpse once more. So that's all that happens. Then what does this do? Oh, I shouldn't have to deal with this. It just said read the opposite side. Actually, it would be... do you fail if you get that? Let me read. Penalties. Area showing penalties incurred for failing a test. So nothing. We don't fail the test. So then this thing is supposed to get reshuffled to an alternative deck? I don't get the reward because it flipped to this side and it would reshuffle to a random deck. It said to put it here. That's what it was talking about. Let me go back and read that. Gaining Cthulhu tokens. Look where it's putting it. Look where it's putting it in the image. You see that? At the bottom, right? And it says Cthulhu tokens represent the Great Old One's influence over the nightmare. Gained tokens are placed on the character ability spaces on the character sheet. Those are Mythos. Mythos tokens cover these. Mythos tokens cover those. So it didn't tell us to gain a Mythos token. So this card, I'm assuming, gets shuffled somewhere. But I'm going to put it in discard because you need to get your rulebook right. Then that's the end of that phase. We put this back. We put the 3 back in our pool. And this goes back to the supply. Right? So, my thoughts on this game so far. I want to continue playing it because this is kind of cool, and I'm curious how I realm hop. Let me see if something tells me I can. Like, I still don't know how I do that. Excuse me. Is it this? Yeah, I see a symbol here that I'm trying to see what it is. Draw lock story card. So story cards... Yeah, the lock story cards let me do it. And what's this symbol? That's probably one of these ones. So I'm basically dreaming in this city until I find a way to leave this city. And then I leave this city. And I leave this realm, and then I go to another one of the realms and continue the story. There's something here. I'm going to tell you all that. There's definitely something in this game that's good. There's some good story that we can read through and go. I mean, if we go to Dilith Lean, there's even more story to go through. So this is a narrative adventure. Strictly. The cards are here for... The cards are not real... I mean, I guess because they didn't want to put it all in the book. You know what I mean? You could... These cards could be a book. And then you're just dealing with this as you go through. But they didn't want to do a book, so they did it in cards. Okay, cool. Whatever floats your boat. So I get that. Yeah, that's the symbol that's there. and we have to find ways to move on from where we're going and move things through. And I never read our characters' cards to see why we're here. Like, who are we and why we're here. So it says, voodoo is a part of my family, tracing back from many of an ancient Louisiana families to the earliest African tribes. My mother is Christian, but also a Mambo. My aunt was a Capulata. Our family's allied to the Simbiloa. I am no Mambo, but I dream and I have nightmares. I know and accept the reality of Cthulhu and his cult of great old ones. Ever since that night in 1907, when my aunt was killed deep in the swamps while aiding Inspector Legrasse and the New Orleans police, I saw through her eyes, saw the awful writhing of the cultists, heard the chanting of words that held impossible power. I still hear that chanting, whispering far off in the darkness, moments of the night, and I know that dread Cthulhu still remembers my family. My dreams are no longer my own. I have seen his shadow, felt his presence stalking me through the weed-choked bayou. Only the Loa can protect my family from the great wave that is coming. So, and then we're trapped in the dream trying to get out through these stories. And then we have all these other locations that are these locations. So we got Black Galley, dreaded black ships roam the Cenarian seas by moonlight. This expansion offers a new, exciting, and dangerous realm to explore, containing additional story encounters, clues, treasures, and monsters to enhance Dreamscape, and the Dream Quest series. Same thing with this. And this looks like this is far north of the Dreamlands lie the forbidding wasteland plateau of Lang. So these are all different locations that you can explore when you're going there. I'm assuming these tokens are some form of upgrade for what's there. More cultists and spies to add to this threat deck. Nightmare pack. Take your adventure in dreams to the next level with this extra pack of new encounters, quests. So it's more encounters, quests, and danger. These stretch goals have, it looks like Nightmare packs 1 and 2, and scenario packs 1 through 3. So it's Nightmare packs 1, 2, 3, and scenario packs 1, 2, 3 for the stretch goals for the Kickstarter backers to add more story. So it sounds like they built out an expansive world on here to really get this going. And we haven't even fought a freaking creature yet. So let's... combat. Alright. Threat challenges. Threats are special combat challenges. They are a reference on story cards by the blue question mark with a unique code and by some weird symbol in reaction outcomes. So it looks like, let me show you what a threat card looks like. I'll show you the fish one that they sent me that you can see. One of Dagon's people, the Deep One Scout. So what are we looking at? Threat challenge will either indicate which specific threat card shown by to challenge a faction. Shuffle all threat cards of that faction and randomly select one. So the faction that you see these are located here. And you'll shuffle up all those factions whenever you have to challenge a faction, and then you draw one, flip it over. The threat challenge test is a sequence of connected steps leading to rewards highlighted in gold or penalties. Red skill tests are compulsory. Black stages are optional. Why isn't it black skill tests? Black stages are optional. You may choose to stop the challenge before attempting an optional test. Each step requires a skill test or reducing a stat. Gold rope paths are available after making a successful test, while silver chain paths must be chosen after failing a test. So, if we pass this test, if we fail this test, we're going here. If we pass this test, we're going here. If we pass this test, we're going here. If we fail the test, we're going there. Same thing here. So if we pass this test, we can go here or here. If we fail, we go there. And if we pass this test, we're going there. If we fail, we're going there. Gotcha. It says that you may stop. You may choose to stop the challenge before attempting an optional test. And optional tests are black stages. Oh, that must be this. That the symbols. Why say that are so these are optional. This is required. So you can do this. You have to do this, and then you have to do that, but you don't have to do the rest of them. Good lord. Okay. Each step requires a skill test or reducing a stat. Gotcha. Ending the sequence on a reward step completes the challenge successfully and allows that reward to be claimed. Ending the challenge at an optional skill test does not yield a reward. In either instance, discard the threat card back to the threat deck and read the symbol success reaction outcome on the story card. So on this card, if we have to deal with this, we have to do this and we have to do that. Everything else is optional. Once we finish this and we gain the gold reward, we can stop. And we're done. However, if you notice here, this doesn't provide a reward. This is not a reward. This is another test. And if you pass this optional one, you actually can get a reward and end it or move on. So that's what that means. That's actually kind of cool. Failing at any step ends the challenge immediately, and the linked penalty shown must be applied. Discard the threat card and read the failure reaction outcome on the story card. That's not bad. That's actually pretty cool. See, I'm gonna be repeating myself a lot. I'm repeating myself a lot because I'm like, this is cool. I think the rune things is dumb. Like, you might as well just give me dice, but, you know, this is cool. I would have rather just rolled dice for these symbols, but this is, you know, throwing the runes is kind of, they did that for, Runebound did the kind of D2 thing, which is what this is, where it has the pogs, and Call to Adventure has runes that you shake up and you throw. So this kind of precedes that. I wish they would have done something different other than that, though. I might homebrew that. I might house rule that the dice. Okay, so that's how these challenges work whenever we run into them. And there's different varying types of challenges. I'll grab whatever the hell that is. A pack of Zogs. So where's the star one to start? So you start here. You have to do... is that the start one? Yeah, it's the start one. It's the one with the circle on it. So that's where you start. So you start here. If you pass it, you go here and then or you can go here. Do a test. And then if you pass it, you can go here to get 2 experience. If you fail it, you lose a Deja Vu. But if you pass this test, you can gain item card 10. If you fail this test, you have to do this test. If you pass this one, you get 118. If you fail it, you lose 2 health. I think this... I don't know. I think that's cool. There are... We're looking at condition cards. So we've gained a lore card, so y'all have seen that. That's what this thing is, a lore card. So you've seen us gain a lore card, which gives us a benefit. Condition cards that we gain. So let's grab the one that they're showing, Fearful. And we'll talk about Fearful. I just want to make sure you all can see everything that's here, so you can decide for yourself if this game is for you. Fearful. Okay, so condition cards are temporary statuses gained from story cards. They're referenced by, they should stop using color for colorblind people, for what looks like a brown symbol with a unique code. There is no limit to the number of condition cards that can be in play. When gain, add one of those symbols that I rolled on the die, which is this. Add those symbols equal to the number shown in the token placement space. So what we're looking at is up here. You'll add 3 up here, right? If gained again, add +1 to the card. Condition cards that indicate changes to condition card abilities that indicate changes to that refer to the specific, whatever. Token placement for how many tokens are on it. The deck that it's linked to, which is really hard to see. The flavor text of what's happening to you. And then the ability effects of what's really happening to you. I gave my copy of Call to Adventure to my flags. Yeah. Condition tokens can be removed by spending 1 Elder Sign token to remove 2. Rewards on story cards or story-specific outcomes. If all tokens are removed from a condition card, the card is discarded. Boom. So now you know how condition cards work. Let's see what else. Hunted conditions, which are those teeth things. Hunted cards are a special type of condition card with their own unique tokens. There are two kinds, hunters and super hunters. Hunters cards are linked to a specific realm and get discarded if the realm deck shown on the hunter card is no longer the active one. Hunter cards remain in play while the dreamer is at a location because the location is still within the same realm. So basically there's something hunting us, and we need to deal with it. And then same thing with the super hunters. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, that is it. That's it. We're going to call it. We're going to call it. If you want to see table space, how much this table is reset, that's how much table space it takes up. There's a game mat that came with this game, but I don't feel I would use it. I don't feel I would use the game mat. I think I would just use it like this and play it. I'll overall score. This is gonna make people get rid of the game if they don't watch a good video. Now I'm sure when Barrett gets his copy, he's gonna do a much better job of going over like a turn if he chooses to do so. If other people who got the game will probably go through some rounds to see if that's helpful. I hope my Learn series, the specific Learn episode, was helpful in terms of showing you the game, showing you if it's something that you would be interested in getting, showing you if it's something that you'd be interested in playing. Am I going to keep this? I think so. I think I want to go through a full dream now that I understand how the rules work. And if I go through a full dream and I'm not killing myself, which I haven't been, I've been annoyed at the rules more than the game. The game's been kind of cool. But if I would go through and see how that works. And if I can get through playing it again, I'll hang on to it. If not, I'll call it. So right now it's not an immediate call. I really feel that there's something here. I really, really do. And so I'm willing to put in the work to see if it's worth getting. Alright, cool. Hopefully that was informative, and it's something that you enjoyed seeing, or not. I don't know. Let's head back up to the top. Alright, that's going to be all of this playthrough. Really, the narrative seems interesting. There's a lot of things that need to, there's an errata file they uploaded on BGD that keeps getting updated. Keep it handy when you play by yourself. Yeah. This... If I had the patience, I would fix this. This is easily fixed. Like, easily fixed. But they can fix that. Release a new rulebook that makes frickin' sense, and this game will be simple as cake. And I think you will draw people to it. You will draw Lovecraft people to it for sure. But as soon as they grab your rulebook, I guarantee you they'll be like, I have 1,000 other games. I have Kickstarters, like, I have games on my shelf of opportunity. I've got games that I wish I can get back to. I'm not going to frustrate myself with this rulebook, and I'm going to go do something else. It's concerning card printing errors, though, not yet the rulebook. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be... You're hurting yourself with this rulebook. You're hurting yourself. There's something here, I'm telling you. There's something here that's fun. I love that you could spend lucid dreaming and deja vu in more ways than just like you gain it, but lucid dreaming has so much things that you could do with it. I also saw above that deja vu has stuff you could do with it. Guess where that is? In the back of the book. Why? It's at the back of the book, past everything else, for additional rules. This is not an additional rule. This is a key rule of the game. Poor, poor rulebook planning. Horrible. So, sorry if that hurt your feelings, guys. You have a really, I think you have a really great game that will not do well because you didn't take the time to do a good rule book. But hopefully, I plan to play it again, and I'll do it on stream to really give it the old college try. And we'll see where it goes from there. Alright, cool. I don't have that many games yet, so it's worth it for me. It's going to take some learning, but it does seem like a culture. Yeah. I think there's... I keep saying it, but I do mean it. I think there is something really good here. And I want to find out what it is. I'm actually very curious. I remember I played one of the games I was playing during my vacation last week, where I was like, nope, this game's going on the coal pile. So hopefully you all have determined if you want to give this a try or not. If there will be other videos that come out that showcase this game, I'm sure that will do a better job than me, I guess. And so you can give those a watch and see if they will show the game in a different light. My real opinion of this is I'm going to hang on to it. I am going to play it again. And if it doesn't hook me by then, I'm going to call it. But I feel like it will. I feel like it will hook me into this game, and I think it'll be a cool experience. Alright, that's going to be all for tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the Canje Learns. This is the whole point of this series, so that you can learn a game, so that you can see how I learn games. Hopefully, you learn better than I, a lot better than I do in these games, and do a lot greater things than me. But yeah, that is going to be it. So I want to thank my patron subscribers, and if you're neither, just coming in to hang out, I really appreciate you. Thank you as well. We'll be back Thursday for some Aeon's End with Pac-Man joining me, and we'll go from there. Until then, I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye, everybody.